Good evening. SBS World News is again devoting its resources to covering two major stories tonight: the war in Ukraine and the East Coast flood emergency here in Australia. Shortly, we will have the latest on the floods and severe weather impacting hundreds of thousands of Australians. In New South Wales, the death toll has risen, while in Queensland, further flooding has complicated clean-up operations. But we begin with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, where at least 21 people have been killed after 24 hours of shelling in the eastern city of Kharkiv. And Kyiv is bracing for an all-out assault. At least 5 people were killed in a missile attack on a TV tower in Kyiv. The UN estimates 406 civilians killed or wounded since the invasion began. And 400,000 refugees from Ukraine have now crossed into Poland. US President Joe Biden has vowed more economic retaliation, saying Vladimir Putin has no idea what's coming. Russia continues to control large areas of Ukraine since the invasion began last Thursday, according to analysts at the Institute for the Study of War. And a warning to viewers that our Ukraine coverage tonight contains images of war violence. We have our reporters in London and Poland tonight, but first to Omar Dehen, who's in the Polish city of Medyka and is closely following the rapidly changing military offensive across Ukraine's border. Omar, it's clear Kyiv is expecting the worst from a Russian attack.
Well, Ricardo, Russia has already declared its intention. It was next to no time at all after the Kremlin warned it was preparing to hit targets in the Ukrainian capital did we see that deadly military strike on Kyiv's TV station. Now we're seeing clearly that the Ukrainian forces are frustrating the Russian president with their resistance. There's no doubt that by now Russian President Vladimir Putin would have expected Kyiv to be in the hands of his forces. That hasn't yet happened, and as more people cross Ukraine into Poland, all signs are pointing to a further Russian escalation, as we also see that 65-kilometre long armed convoy of Russian forces encircle Kyiv like a snake, while Ukraine's biggest cities continue to fall under heavy bombardment. The moment a missile strikes the heart of Ukraine's second city, Kharkiv, within seconds, Freedom Square becomes a war zone. Residents in disbelief.
Missiles. 6 missiles flew over me. Here is the shell crater. You can see the damage yourself.
Many civilians died. There is a dead person laying next to us.
President Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine increasingly ruthless, as the man filming this Russian tank advance just north of Kyiv found out. The assault reported to have taken place in Borodyanka, a town nestled within the Russian line of advance. As the 65-kilometre-long Russian military convoy inches towards Kyiv, its feared an all-out military assault is imminent. The latest missile strike targeting the main TV tower, civilians in the line of fire. Ukrainian officials say at least 5 people died. The strike also hitting nearby Babyn Yar, a memorial site for the tens of thousands of Jews, communists and Ukrainian nationalists killed by the Nazis in World War II. This, the moment the news was broken to Ukraine's Jewish president.
Now it's bombing Babyn Yar.
Now Babyn Yar?
Babyn Yar, now it's bombing.
That is Russia. My congratulations.
President Volodymyr Zelensky holed up in a bunker in Kyiv, preparing for combat, as is much of the nation. Ordinary civilians bracing for the full might of Russian forces. In Kyiv, Katerina, a nurse, makes Molotov cocktails.
Never imagined. Nobody imagined like this.
Igor, a lawyer who only last week was presenting a case in court, has taken up arms.
I have never dared to use it, never even shot a gun or a pistol.
And in Lviv, there's Dimiky, an IT worker. he's out for blood.
Ukrainian men are very, very angry, and we will kill every Russian soldier we put our hands on.
Others using their bare hands to chase away Russian forces. It's not the reception their commander-in-chief had promised them. But with overwhelming firepower, it's only a matter of time before Russia takes its key targets. Strikes in Mariupol wounding several. Seizing the southern port city would help enable separatist fighters in eastern Ukraine to link up with those in Russian-annexed Crimea. And Russian forces are tonight closing in. On the Poland side of the Ukraine border, Omar Dehen, SBS World News.